Hello everyone. Uh, Hello and welcome to the session. Please let me know if I'm properly audible and visible to you people. I'm not so sure that I'm audible and visible. It could be great if you can let me know here. Good evening. Back with editorial session where we have a lot to do. Those watching me for the first time, my name is Niharika John Mehra. I'm your faculty of English on CGB Mentors, and I have my classes on our website under our courses. Details are in the description. Do check them out. And here I'm taking absolutely free classes on YouTube, and these are editorial classes along with 1:30 p.m. practice classes, and on this channel we have them on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. Monday to Saturday, this series is going on. Such sessions are going on. So this is editorial where you get everything. There is skimming, reading practice, reading with the purpose to do better in exam, not just how we used to do in school days, na? And then we have vocabulary, we have grammar, we have MCQs to make sure that you are able to retain, and if you are able to, then how long you can retain some facts, वो एक आपकी माइंड एक्सरसाइज भी यहाँ पर हो रही है. So जल्दी से लाइक और शेयर कर दो. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed till now, and we will start with this editorial which is taken from the Hindu newspaper. Okay, this is today's editorial. So yeah, don't forget to like and share. This is what you do in skimming. Over a period of time, when you follow the instructions that I'm going to share, you should be able to automatically know, your mind will only go to the important words while you read. So skimming is you skip and read. You don't read each and every detail of a statement. Your mind will tell you, okay, this seems important, and you just read that thing and you understand. It's not for useless purpose. It's something that you do understand, but you don't need to go through it like the details. नंबर्स को स्किप कर सकते हो, लंबे नामों को स्किप कर सकते हो. मेक श्योर यू कवर सब्जेक्ट एंड वर्ब, एटलीस्ट दैट विल हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड कि मेन काम हो क्या रहा है. In detail, if you need an exam, an RC is given, a question from that is given, then you go to the place and then you find answer and mark. But apart from that, this is not the purpose of editorial with respect to English subject of your competitive exam कि आपको सारा का सारा डेटा याद हो जाए. So do not translate, do not read as if you want to memorize. Don't lip sync, don't try to pronunciate all the words in your mind. You should be good to go. Okay? Chalo. I'll give you 2.5 minutes. Please go ahead and read. I'll just give you some time to read. That is to skim. Try to focus on important words. Sometimes you don't even need to read. You just can look at the word and you know what it means. In your mind, you will know that. So start with this. Pardon me. It's a soaring topic, I know, but we should be well prepared. Some topics can be very stingy, and they could be really portal to bad memories and all. We need to make sure we don't let any such thing affect us. With an exam also, you can get to read and go through some things which may not be as per your taste or what you want to read, but you have to. So let's see, what does this passage say in one or two lines. Let me know in the comment section what have you understood from this article. Is the summary, two lines of main point, highlighted point. So a belated admission. Now here somebody is accepting something, या कोई चीज को माना जा रहा है on the undercount of India's COVID-19 pandemic deaths. Undercount जितना count है below actual count से below. Civil registration data from 21 points to significant excess deaths. Now we are getting to know that significantly the number was more than what was registered. So this is a belated admission. It has been 4 years since the Delta version of the SARS-CoV-2 virus hit India. So थोड़ा सा past 4 years हो चुके हैं. The country bore the brunt of. Bearing the brunt मतलब कि उस भार से होकर गुजरना that we didn't want to. So it bore the brunt of pandemic's devastating impact with harrowing scenes of overwhelmed healthcare systems, oxygen supply shortages, and even bodies floating in Ganga in Uttar Pradesh. So that was harrowing scene is something which is very distressing, haunting scenes the wo us samay ke, okay. Then reports based on data sourced from civil registration system. Now reports that were based on the system, and the reports were sourced through RTIs and other means by the Hindu in particular. The newspaper especially did it. Besides independent surveys, showed that the toll was clearly staggering and in millions, much more than the official tally. So it is now clear that the number was much higher. The government's response was defensive and dismissive. Okay, so defensive means they wanted to protect themselves. Dismissive means contemptuous tha. It was not very respectful. The attempt was to consistently undermine the findings, and the attempt by the government or the response was so that they wanted to undermine the findings that these people found out. Then, after maintaining the reported number of COVID-19 deaths during the period was accurate. After maintaining, now what are they maintaining? That means what do they chose to follow one statement, and that was that the number of deaths, if the number was accurate. The government through the Registrar General of India released a report last week. So now the government released a report that showed there were 21.5 lakh excess deaths in 21 as against 3.32 lakh reported COVID-19 deaths. So now we know the new number. During a pandemic, the bulk of these excess deaths must have been related to the effects of the disease. Now this is a speculation because author is saying must have been. कि यहाँ पे हो सकता है इनमें से टोटल में से जो मैक्सिमम हो they were much more than 3.3. Besides, lockdown restrictions had resulted in lower fatalities due to causes such as road accidents. Now, besides, lockdown restrictions ने तो पहले से ही road accidents वगैरह की deaths कम कर दी थी. The high number of excess deaths was estimated by the Hindu's calculation to be nearly 6.5 times more than reported. So, what the Hindu newspaper calculated, investigated, they found the number was 2.5 times more. The fact that this multiple was even higher for Gujarat, MP, UP, and Telangana suggests. So the now state-wise, if we see, it was even higher for these states. Suggests COVID-19 deaths were underreported significantly in 21. So from the numbers, we can clearly see that the numbers here were underreported. They were not correctly reported. These were largely due to the fact that deaths due to comorbidities were perhaps not considered as COVID-19. Now, this could be the fact that because of comorbidities is something they didn't include as a death caused by COVID-19, or because those numbers were suppressed in order to paint a rosier picture. Or maybe they didn't want the actual picture, and that's why government didn't report the actual number. It could be anything. The nearly 4-year delay in releasing this report, alongside the sample system report, reveals the Union government's redundance to comprehensively assess the true impact of pandemic and its casual approach to publishing critical demographic data. So this delayed report actually shows, it displays, first of all, that the government is reluctant to check, to assess the actual impact that was caused because of the pandemic. Also, it is the casualness that can be seen because that the approach is also casual in publishing this kind of demographic data. Okay, anything where we call it demographic data, it relates to the statistics of the population of a country, of a territory. This reluctance in publishing timely information, this reluctance कि हमें नहीं करना है, timely नहीं बताया, coincides with the fact that India's civil registration system that tracks births and deaths has become more robust over time. So now the reluctance in publishing timely information is also coming parallel. It is all along with the fact that now the system is more robust than ever, with most states reporting the bulk of deaths that occurred either in institutions such as hospitals or at homes. So now this system, it registers everything, and there were like a bulk of things happening, bulk of deaths happening. So this could have been the case here. In some states, this reporting happens with a lag when compared to others, और कई जगह तो देरी से ये update होता है. But it is encouraging that registration levels are getting better. Author is saying still it is good to see that we can see improvement. But medical certification of the causes of death still remains low. Now, medically certified deaths, the certification, that declaration of why somebody died, that certification still, number of those certifications we don't have enough when compared to other developing countries such as Brazil. A robust maintenance of registration and certificate records is important for public health tools. So author is stressing here that we need to make sure that the registration, certificate records, maintenance of these things, we can do better. The delay in release of vital data defeats the purpose of improvements made in civil registration. So this kind of a delay, we are getting to know the actual thing, actual number after 4 years, is something that shows that we are still not up to the mark. Data delays is also data denied. You have heard justice delayed is justice denied. Similarly, author ने उसको tweak कर दिया है. Data delayed, not getting information on time, is not getting information at all. That is data denied. So he is stressing on how we should make sure that we need to bolster the system here, and through that, of course, data will reach on time. Can you suggest me some sources for RBI Grade B preparation? You can check out our courses, especially our mentorship program that is under our course on our website. That is great. We have teachers personally guiding you, and not just for like phase 1 or phase 2 alone, but till your interview, preparing you in some other aspects where it's not just about the books and the theory and all. So do check out our courses. Okay. Getting back to this one, आप में किसी ने आज मेरी summary लिख के नहीं दिया है, which is sad, but I want to encourage you, write something. You will have to write and express yourself in exam, so don't feel shy. Nobody is going to judge you here, but expressing what you feel, think is important, and that too in English, of course, because हम English के लिए prepare कर रहे हैं. हैरोइंग सीन्स था, दिस इज अ टाइपिंग एरर, हार्बरिंग नहीं है, हैरोइंग है। सो हैरोइंग सीन्स भयावह दृश्य को बोला जाता है, समथिंग विच इज वेरी डिस्ट्रेसिंग, ओके, समथिंग विच इज, जस्ट अ सेकेंड, समथिंग विच इज जो हम भुला नहीं पाएंगे, यू नो, दे आर दैट बैड, तो उसे हम हैरोइंग सीन्स बोलते हैं, ओके। हीरोइन नहीं है, अगर आप में से किसी को कुछ कंफ्यूजन हो रहा हो, हैरो, HARROW, हैरोइंग सीन्स, ओके। डिसमिसिव इज बीइंग अनदर पूर्वक, कंटेम्पचुअस, डिस्डेनफुल, नॉट रिस्पेक्टिंग, comorbidities, zero. Now this was a term I thought I saw in lot of the forms at that time when we were traveling, and you know, we were asked if there is any comorbidity. So yeah, this means coexisting conditions, secondary illness किसी को है, so COVID-19 might not be the cause, but you know, it exacerbated the condition that was already existing, उसको हम comorbidities बोलते हैं। पेंटिंग अ रोजियर, पिक्चर का रोजियर था हमारे पैसेज में, एंड इट इज अ फ्रेज, इट इज एन इडियम इन फैक्ट, दैट मीन्स what is actually there is not as beautiful as it seems, okay, something where we see over optimism, when we see something which is unrealistic, कुछ ज़्यादा ही अच्छा दिखाई दे रहा है ये तो, actuality is not that good. Reluctance is हिचकिचाहट, some kind of hesitation, not willing to do something. Robust is resilient, making something powerful, मजबूत बनाना, vigorous बनाना. A lag is a delay, slackness, पीछे पीछे चलना. It could be of a few minutes, a few weeks, years, months, whatever. Staggering numbers. Anything which is astonishing and hence overwhelming. हमें हिला देने वाली, मतलब हमने सोचा नहीं था उतना ज़्यादा. To undermine something or someone is कमजोर करना, अस्वीकार करना. It is invalidate. You are telling me the right thing, but I am undermining you. That means मैं तो नहीं मानना ही नहीं आपकी बात. That is how it is. Toll, death toll जो बोला गया है passage में, that is the number of fatalities. Conceal is to cover up, to suppress, छुपाना. Suppress is to दबाना. They are different. Concealing is cover up, total cover up. Suppress is maybe you are silencing something in intensity, not letting the person speak, or covering up, but maybe not पूरे से cover up हो रहा है. Demographic data is population stats, as I already told you. Discrepancy is mismatch, what tally नहीं हो रहा है, not able to tally, so inconsistencies हैं वहाँ पे. Under reporting is misreporting, data suppression, दबाया गया, पूरे से गायब, कंसील नहीं करा गया, छुपाया नहीं गया, बट अगर 10 था तो 7 या 6 बताया. Comprehensive assessment is holistic. Anything which is comprehensive is full scale, holistic. एक एक कोना कर देंगे, एक एक पॉइंट को कवर कर लेंगे. That. Overwhelm system is क्षमता से अधिक भार. So if something is overloaded, anything overloaded with data, with some kind of food item, with electricity, anything, उसको हम overwhelm बोलते हैं. Even when we are over emotional, we overwhelm. वो हमारा emotion फूट कर बाहर आता है फिर. So that is called anything that overwhelms. Okay? So ये आपकी vocabulary थी आज की. अब है टाइम आपको आंसर करने का. ठीक है, चलो. Subject and main verb of this sentence that I have highlighted. Anyone? It's not that difficult. अब तक तो हैबिट हो जाना चाहिए आपकी. रिपोर्ट्स फर्स्ट नाउन बहुत ही इजी सब्जेक्ट है ना. पहला सब्जेक्ट है सेंटेंस का. इट्स लाइक नो एडजेक्टिव एंड ऑल. सो रिपोर्ट सब्जेक्ट. बट देयर इज अ लॉन्ग explanation of this one. Okay, reports based on something, sourced from somewhere, through somewhere, by someone, beside something. So ये सब अभी reports को समझाने वाले fragments हैं. Reports showed that something happened. So showed इसका verb था. I want you to do the same exercise with this sentence. Subject verb agreement, subject and main verb. So this is a revision for all of you. We often read and we learn this rule that whenever we have the number of as a subject, okay, that is always singular. So in this case, that's exactly what we are getting. The high number of, basically the number of. The number of है, इसलिए noun is plural but doesn't matter. The number is always singular. अगर यहाँ a number of होता, then we could have used verb. Okay, part of speech of this word. Large is adjective. Any adjective plus ly is adverb. So these were due to. Kitna due to? Largely due to. So adverbs can modify verbs, adjectives, other adverbs, phrases and whole sentence as well. तो यहाँ पे आपको phrase due to को समझाने के लिए largely adverb जो है मिल रहा है. Cool. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Subject verb of this sentence. Suppose you want to check, how would you do this? The nearly 4-year delay. Now delay is a verb and a noun. In this case, it is 4-year delay. That means ये एक noun की तरह ही act कर रहा है. So this is your noun and the subject. Okay. Delay in what? Releasing. Alongside something. Reveals. It is singular subject, so ये reveal करता है. Okay. Delay reveals. Part of speech of this word. It is adjective. So whenever you have noun plus ly, in this case it is time, which is noun, plus ly, it gives you adjective. Okay. So the summary here is that the editorial highlights a long overdue acknowledgement by Indian government, and that is of the significant excess deaths than what was reported during the peak of pandemic, particularly in 21. Officially, only 3.32 lakh deaths were reported, but civil registration data now indicates over 21.5 lakh excess deaths. This is almost 6.5 times more. So यहाँ पे आपके पास जो मिल रहा है वो ये मिल रहा है. Some states had extraordinary high multiples, suggesting they were widespread underreporting, and there were also delayed reporting. Okay, so the editorial is criticizing here that there was delay, and then it is trying to figure out why the delay happened and what is the actual number. However, medical certification of cause of death remains weak. So we can see that the registration infrastructure has improved, but yet not up to the mark. The editorial underscores, highlights the importance of timely, transparent data for policy making and public health. He is saying in the end, public health tool. अगर आपको ध्यान हो, ये term थी. So this is the summary. Now the tone was critical because author has criticized the work of government, the delay in the report. It is investigative because there is an investigation. Particularly, we can see that the Hindu itself through RTIs has collected the number, and cautionary because at the end there is a caution that author is giving that if you want to do better in policy making and public health, we need to improve the system. Now it's your turn to answer some questions. Get going. First question. This should not be that difficult for you. Answer is C. According to the editorial, which is the most responsible for gross underestimation of COVID-19 deaths. Okay, so it was political unwillingness to report comorbidity linked deaths. We saw that if there was any comorbidity, then in this case they were not connected, they were not reported as COVID-19. So this point of something being related to comorbidity rate is important here. It's okay. That's totally okay. This I have explained while I was teaching. I hope you can answer this question. This is explanation of a phrase. Okay. So the phrase data denied is data delayed. Okay. Data delayed is data denied. Ulta kar diya maine. Sorry. The delayed data renders itself ineffective. It is of no use for action or analysis if it is delayed. Okay, so data, such a piece of data is of no use. C is your answer. ये थोड़ा सा डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन है. I hope you remember some facts. Very easy. The answer to this one is B. Gujarat was one of those, the highest multiplier of excess data of deaths or excess deaths. सबसे पहले उसका. Next one. A. Why does the editorial consider the government's release of 21 registration data significant? Okay, now why significant? Insignificant. So it acknowledges previously denied pandemic deaths. पहले की जो denied थी अब acknowledge करता है, that's why data significant है. C is the answer. You said A. It enables economic forecasting. No, author has not mentioned that. It may be helpful in more things, but not as per the editorial. Despite improvements, what key weakness? That is of medical certification of causes of deaths. इतना ही पढ़ के समझ. चलो, error detection. Skip question number 1, but you can tell me the explanation. आप मुझे इसका explanation बता सकते हो. Answer is D. I'm sorry, I somehow forgot to use enter before answer. So yes, the answer is D, but then please can you tell me the correction at least? The release of the data by Registrar General of India was a welcome step. Welcome is used as an adjective here. Okay, welcome step towards what? Transparency. सही है. But nearly 4-year delay has. यहाँ तक भी सही है. अब बताओ D में गलत क्या है? Give me the correction. इसको sentence correction जैसा करो. So now you know what is wrong. You give me the correction. It's a very simple one. Cast के तीनों forms cast होते हैं. The conjugation of verb cast is cast. Casted होता नहीं है. Okay. So cast जैसे we have put. Okay. Hit. All three forms are same. Similarly, cast का casted नहीं होता है. It has cast doubts. Okay. Let me check. Have I made the same mistake in second? I haven't. Second question in front of you. As well take V3. That's not a problem. But V3 of cast is cast. Second is error free. States such as है तो plural आएगा. Gujarat and MP states had reported. It is past perfect. Okay, nothing wrong in it. COVID-19 fatalities far lower. Lower because then का use हो रहा है. Then the actual excess deaths that occurred during the peak. So there is nothing wrong in second one, no error. Third one, If you have a doubt related to any specific word, you can ask. Hmm. E's answer again. No error. Yeah, two in a row. दो है तो contrast आएगा. Okay, and there should not be any other contradictory introducing word. तो यहाँ पे दो registration of deaths. Registration is the verb, so has improved significantly. The percentage of medically certified causes. Percentage of causes. Percentage remains abysmally low. Low adjective, abysmally adverb. In comparison to whom? To what? To nations. But which nations? Developed nations and some developing nations. Everything is good to go in third one. Fourth one. This is an interesting one. Now, in the passage, you may find the same structure. For exam, we cannot follow. So, the Hindus report estimates, sahi, that the excess deaths were nearly 6 times more than the government's official figures. 6 times का मतलब 6x होता है. Okay, positive number 6x मैथ समझते हो. तो more का क्या मीनिंग है? 6 times the figures बोलेंगे या फिर 6 times as many बोलेंगे. Using more along with already telling that it is 6 times is wrong. ये more than redundant है. थोड़ा dramatic language के लिए author has used in the article, but we cannot do that for an exam purpose. So it is 6 times. You can say as much as many as भी बोलोगे तो चलेगा. Or don't say 6 times what the official figures. More than की बोलने की need नहीं है. Last one. This one, fifth one, answer is C. This one is super simple. So, delaying the dissemination of such health data has not only denied but also hindered. Has not only verbs third form, क्योंकि has जो है helping verb है. So, has not only denied but also hindered. Yes, this is called parallelism. Whenever we have some pairs of conjunction, just like not only but also, neither nor, either or. We have to make sure we maintain the parallelism, balance. तो यहाँ वही नहीं हो रहा था. Okay, so that's it. These were the questions. Thank you so much for joining this session. For PDFs, do contact our team. You do get some PDFs for sessions, and I will see you tomorrow here at 1:30 p.m. for EPFO practice session, and then at 8 p.m. Okay, take care, bye bye. And in case आप like और share करना भूल गए हैं, quickly do it.